welcome here in True Sky Taurus for your reading for the month of July. We currently have the sun still transiting through True Sky Gemini, and for the transit I have chosen some kind of fairy tale folklore kind of decks. And the first one we have here for you, I've already spread out. I've already shuffled all the decks and cleansed the space. And this deck is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck for you, for the month of July, we have the Two of Swords. Is your underlying energy. So this month there could be an underlying energy of decisions that need to be made, and it may be actually quite hard. You might be feeling quite indecisive. The central card for you for the month is the Ace of Wands. So this is a really good month for you to start new projects, especially passion projects. So things that you are really passionate about and that you've been wanting to put your energy into, it's a really good time to do that for you, which I do think is interesting because in the True Sky we have currently Mars in Taurus, and Mars obviously is that fire sign ruler, and also it's the planet of linked to energy. I mean, it's linked to war, it's linked to energy, it's linked to passion. It's, you know, that kind of energy. That Ace of Wands really has that Mars kind of energy. So I do think that's interesting. We've had Mars in your sign for most of the month, and it did conjoin Uranus on the 4th. And it's still relatively close. It's not that close now. So it's actually about 6 degrees. So you might still feel that energy. If it was aspecting anything in your chart, like your Taurus placements, Uranus could be, or Mars. And the first card we have here also is another fire suit card. So, however, this is our Queen of Wands. So this could be someone in your life this month that's really significant. She could be of the fire signs, or fire houses, or the ruling planets of the fire signs. So that would be like Aries is Mars, Leo is the Sun, and Sag is Jupiter. So someone with really prominent planets in their chart. The Queen of Wands is sometimes referred to as the Witch of the Tarot. So she's very creative. Doesn't have to be a she either. It's just that the feminine qualities. So she's got the feminine qualities, but she's the fire. So she is a leader, but she's also, you know, got that more, you know, nurturing quality in a fire way though. So she's very creative. She's very warm and loving, but in that kind of passionate sense. If it's not a person, however, it could just be that you this month are learning these qualities. So these qualities could, which is interesting, like I said, with the Mars in your sign. Your crowning card is the Magician. So this month very much is really important for you in manifesting things. So not only do we have that Ace of Wands as the central card, we also have, the Magician as the crowning card, which is linked here, and also with our Queen of Wands. So this is a really creative combination here. So this is for your mind and like your higher self. All about manifesting. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is of the earth signs, which is you. And it's very much linked with collaborating with others and mastering something that you've started and you've been working on. You're actually going to the next stage. Then you have the Knave of Wands here. So the Knave, another fire. So the Knave is like your Page of Wands. So the Page is linked to often children. So there could be a child up to say 18 years. Could be linked with this Queen of Wands. So it could be someone you know and their child. Doesn't have to be though. It could just be that you are learning about these qualities in yourself. So it'll be about like new passions, new passion projects, plus new passions arising. And often of the fire signs or fire houses or fire ruling planets significant in their chart, if it's someone in your life. Then you have your own card, basically. So the Empress. The Empress has got that link to Taurus and Venus. Very abundant, very fertile. If you are in any way able to conceive, or that is something in your life, this could be a really good time for that. So I think having the Ace of Wands with the Empress here, and even with these Three of Pentacles, because the Three of Pentacles is about that collaborating, and it is about, you know, that self-mastery. And then with the Empress, that creative energy, fertile energy, abundant energy. And then the Ace of Wands, this passionate energy as well. It doesn't have to be that though. So if you're not wanting that, it's just linked to that abundant, creative, fertile energy. So it will really boost anything that you are doing this month, which is really lucky. It has that beneficent energy. Then you have the Six of Swords here at the bottom. So this is next to your Base of the Matter card. And it does indicate that you have had some rather challenging times recently, but that you are actually now on the other side of them. So you've passed over the hard times and you're now in a calmer, safer place. And this could even be linked to this child or this new, you know, passions that you've had in your life. It might have actually led you away from this danger and also lead you to this calm. This calm will lead you to this new passionate beginning as well, and this collaborating. Then you also have another fire card. So we've got quite a few wands here. We've got 4 wands in this main suit. You have the Six of Wands as your base of the matter. So this is like the underlying energies, and it's linked with the body. So the Six of Wands is a very positive card. It does mean that you have achieved something, but you've achieved something in a way that others take note. Others are noticing. It's not just about like a personal achievement on like an inner level. It's on an external level, and there is a sense of celebration, there's a sense of victory and accomplishment, and this is also including others in your world as well. And this could very much be linked with this new passion project and this manifesting. Really positive alignment here, lots of energy, which is nice with all the wands. Then the last card you have here is the Wheel of Fortune. So you have some really lucky cards. You've got Wheel of Fortune and the Empress together. Really positive. So the Wheel of Fortune is linked to Jupiter, which is currently in True Sky Cancer, which could be sextiling your Taurus placement or placements. So that will bring a lot of luck. And then having it with the Empress here, a lot of luck. And this is also with collaborating with others. Abundance, luck, collaboration. The next cards I'm going to use are the Victorian Fairy Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck for you is Temperance. So that's the shadow energies of the month, and then having the Temperance to clarify the Two of Swords. So the Temperance is a card linked to like balance and moderation, not pushing things to extreme, that kind of energy. And then having the Two of Swords, which is that decision making energy and potentially even a indecisiveness. Interesting combination. So because the Temperance card has that energy of like balance and moderation, and then the Two of Swords is about, you know, decision making, you might even find that when you are in a really calm, when you're in like a calm and balanced space, it might be easier for you to make these decisions, and that you'll make like the right decision because of that energy there as well. So the clarifying card we have here for you for the Queen of Wands is the 10 of Spring, which is actually the 10 of Wands. So depending on if this Queen of Wands is someone in your life or if it's you, something that you're learning, the 10 of Wands indicates that this time for this Queen of Wands, or for this Queen of Wands energy, the 10 of Wands has that feeling of being overwhelmed. So if this is you, it would be that you have been working really hard on something and you're not really seeing much results from it. However, you're feeling really tired and really overwhelmed. If this isn't you, if this Queen of Wands is, then it would be that this Queen of Wands is feeling this way, that they're really overwhelmed, that they've been working really hard and they're really tired kind of energy. So you've got to really establish who it is here. Then for the Magician card, we have the Ace of Autumn, which is like your Ace of Pentacles. So to me, that is saying that, you know, whatever it is that you're working on at this time, this month, it could open up new financial opportunities. So there could be an abundance of resources that open up to you in regard to what it is you are manifesting. So it could be that that is what you're wanting to manifest. That energy is also there. Then for the Three of Pentacles, which was all about that collaboration and working on things that you've already started, so continuing energy and actually, you know, starting to get into self-mastery with those energies, you have the Ace of Spring. So this is interesting because the Ace of Spring in this deck, so it's once again that central card. So we had this Ace of Wands as the initial central card, and then here the Ace of Spring is like your Ace of Wands. So we have that energy doubled, and in fact it's even in a line. It's connected here because obviously the Ace of Wands is your central card for the month, so it connects everything. So we do have this passion project doubled energy here. So this is really important this month for you to be working on things that you are passionate about. This time it's to clarify the Three of Pentacles. So this is about these collaborative projects and that self-mastery that you've been working on. So then you have here with the Knave of Wands, you have the Star card. So interesting combination. The Knave of Wands is about that new passions as well. And the Star card is about like hopes and wishes. So I'm getting really positive energies here about these passion projects for you. So that's really lovely. And then for the Ace of Wands, your central card, the clarifying card is the Ace of Winter. So this is like your Ace of Swords card, the Winter cards. So interesting combination, a double ace here. So the Ace of Swords is linked to new, more intellectual ideas. So on that mental plane. So these passion projects could be like ideas stage for you. Also the Ace of Winter does indicate that there could be some serious truths here coming. Maybe you're speaking truths or others are speaking truths in your world, but there's this real cutting kind of energy, cutting through the things that, you know, I don't want to swear, but the things that aren't working in your life, you know, the debris, you know, cutting away that isn't working out and really getting to that truth. So really interesting with this Ace of this passion and then this truth as your central kind of energies for the month. Then for the Empress, you have the Two of Summer. So this is like a Two of Cups card, and it can indicate romance. It can indicate a new love or new love offer. If you're already involved, it can indicate a new phase in your love life. So potentially like a marriage proposal or something like that. I don't really see that exactly here because I would normally think there would be like a Hierophant card or, you know, some kind of, doesn't have to be obviously because an engagement doesn't really have to involve the authorities as much. But yeah, so this is interesting. You have it with the Empress. So the Empress could be you. Doesn't have to be, of course, but because it is a card linked to Taurus, and even if you're not female, it doesn't have, it could still be you. The Empress doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a female to have the Empress energy. You could just be learning that kind of energy. Taurus is linked to it. So it could be definitely a new love, or it could be a new love that has those Empress traits that comes into your life this month. Or someone that you're already with that has those Empress traits. Then for the Six of Swords, the clarification here is the Nine of Spring. So the 9 is like the 9, the spring is the Wands type of suit here. So the 9 of Wands does have an energy of, you know, that you are quite defensive. You could be a bit tired, but you've been pushing yourself to, you know, do what you've got to do. That you are standing and persevering. You're really close to succeeding. So this is for the Six of Swords. So this was to clarify that passing over rough waters into calm waters. So maybe that hadn't quite completed, and this month it will. So this 9 of Wands is kind of just saying, look, just stick to it. You might be tired. It may have taken you a while to get through this, but just keep, you know, pushing in that direction and you will get there. Then for the Six of Wands, you've got the 5 of Winter. So this is like your 5 of Swords. So this is a conflict card. So potentially this 6 of Wands is a celebration of the conflict ending, or it could be as well that this success may have attracted, or there could be people in your life or seeing you succeed that maybe don't have the best intentions for you, the best wishes for you. In fact, they want to compete with you. They see what you've done and how successful you've done it, and they've decided, you know, I'm going to do that too, or they're trying to fight with you in some sense. Maybe just challenge you. So this could even be if you are successful online, because it's that 6 of Wands. So it's almost a sense of fame there. So it could even be that you have a following online, or even quite successful, like you're a bit of an influencer, and you know, maybe people in the comments are being a bit snarky, or, you know, challenging you on something, or that kind of energy. It is kind of a bit of that energy. But also I think it's kind of saying to me that you will succeed, but there are challenges as well that you're experiencing. So for the Wheel of Fortune, interestingly, the clarifying card is the 3 of Winter. So this is the 3 of Swords. So we have a bit of Swords energy now here. And the 3 of Swords does have that energy of like heartbreak or loss. It's definitely got the energy of like hard times. In this picture specifically, it kind of looks like they're gossiping. So what I'm getting from this is that potentially that could be the energy for you, is that, you know, people are seeing you succeed. They're seeing how lucky you are, how abundant you are, and maybe they want a piece of that for themselves. So they maybe are potentially like, you know, conspiring, gossiping, that kind of energy, and challenging you. But they could easily be challenging each other as well, because obviously we do have that 5 of Swords, which does indicate conflicts and potentially from multiple different areas. So it doesn't have to all be kind of aimed at you. So the next cards I'm going to pull from are the magical messages from the fairies. We have on the bottom of the deck the pregnancy card for you. So I do think that is quite interesting, considering we had the Empress. So there could be a pregnancy this month. It doesn't have to be you. It could be, I mean, it could be your partner. It could be someone in your family or a friend, or it doesn't have to be you. But also it doesn't have to be an actual pregnancy. It can just be suggesting that there's like a sense of like there's something new coming, new project, new job, something new is going to be born at some point. So it does say the birth of a child brings great blessings to you in the world, but this child could be something else that's created. The first card we have for you, however, is goodbye to the old, hello to the new. You've finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. And so this is linked to the Magician with the Ace of Pentacles. So this is that manifesting with these new resource opportunities here. Then your central card, you have new career. Your work focus is shifting in a positive, new and successful direction. So it could be a new career, or it could just be a new phase in your career, or a new part of your career, like a new evolution in your career. Then you have affirmations to lift up your thoughts and energy, and to attract what you desire. Use positive affirmations. And so this is linked to that Six of Wands with the Five of Winter. So if people are harassing you, if you're getting conflict from others, try to not fight them so much. You know, try to use these positive affirmations to help you with this challenging energy. The next cards I have for you are the Fairies Oracle, the Proud Fairies. And on the bottom of the deck, I have the Maiden. So the Maiden symbolizes auspicious beginnings, birth, growth, joy, and hope. The Maiden signifies new beginnings and growth. You couldn't ask for a more auspicious card than this if you are beginning something new. Spontaneity, joy, growth, exhilaration, and promise for the future are signified here. We must note also that in the early stages of any process, there is vulnerability and a need for protection, shelter, and guidance. But there is also a magical impetus toward burgeoning growth. Trust the process, but take care of the details as well. The Maiden is also the inner child who needs to be under the supervision of a competent inner adult in order for her to feel secure and loved. She is not happy when we spoil her. Consider what is growing in your life. Make a list of your hopes, dreams, and plans. Look for the growth within you and think about how you can cherish and nurture that. Bless the growth you see around you. So that's a beautiful card. So that's your base of the matter card, which interestingly goes so well with that pregnancy card as well. So wow, it really is like a new cycle. Then for your crowning card, you do have the Oakman. Central card, the Journeyman. And the base of the matter, the Bright Mother. So mother again. So the crowning card of the Oakman symbolizes strength, ancient wisdom, and depth. This card depicts the strength and wisdom of age. It also reminds us that what we need to know, what is truly there to be seen, cannot be discovered by a superficial glance and hasty reaction. In a reading, the Oakman tells us to look slowly and deeply into the heart of the matter and to see past the superficialities of the surface. Consider the history of the situation in depth and learn from the past. Consult others with more experience than you have. Learn from the wisdom of the elders, both those available to you personally and those you encounter in books and elsewhere. In this matter, it would be wise to make your decisions after more pondering and study of the situation. Consider motivations in depth. Take action only after thorough deliberation. The Oakman tells us that haste may be, at this moment, our worst enemy. They also suggest that we might learn a lot from trees. Consider the trees and their wisdom. Connect with a wise old one and ask for help. So that's with this goodbye to the old and hello to the new. So if you do have an oak tree near you, it may be really good to connect with it. You know, there are different like shamanic journeys you could take to connect with trees, and also meditation that you could, work with them. The oaks have always been known for their wisdom, and they are ruled over by Jupiter, is their ruling planet, the oak. So the central card, however, we have the Journeyman. So the Journeyman represents adventure, independence, polishing of skills, and travel. So adventure, independence, travel. A long path ahead, we hope. This card speaks to the need to perfect skills in working and living, but it acknowledges having a sound grounding in the basics, optimistic, innocent, and willing to learn. Ongus shows us that intuition serves us well, but only if we pay attention to it. Sometimes we are operating from theory alone, and our knowledge may or may not be well grounded in reality. This card does not necessarily refer exclusively to beginnings. It can also signify a progression along a path, moving into the unknown from the known, a new phase in an ongoing process. This card may also represent untested concepts or ideas and suggests a need for balance between the intuitive and the rational as one approaches the unknown. Consider where you're going. What are your long-term goals? What are you doing that is helping you move towards them? And that's linked here with this new career, or this new energy around a career anyway. Then the base of the matter card we have for you is the Bright Mother. So she represents creativity, nurturing, productivity, intimacy, and sheltering. When the Bright Mother is present in a reading, she speaks of a time of fertility, creativity, and nurturing of ourselves or of others. She might indicate marriage, or the birth of a child, or a deepening of any kind of relationship. She also speaks of giving one's all to life, not holding back. She's like a cornucopia pouring forth abundance. This may be a time to put the needs of others first, taking care of yourself later. Patience may be needed for the process being discussed. Consider what you have. Acknowledge the people and things in your life, good, bad, and indifferent. The consideration is not to judge, approve, reject, but merely to recognize what is present in your life. These are your present fulfillments, the things you've created for yourself, drawing upon the power of unity and the singers Once you have looked clearly at what is present in your life, you may want to ask yourself, what do you want to change? So the next cards I have for you are the Fairy Ring Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Winter, so Queen Mab. So she represents dreams, wishes, and longings that are unfulfilled, but also new ideas, insights, creativity, fertility, and inspiration to help you fulfill your dreams. Dare to dream, dare to live the dream. Don't let others deflect you from what you truly want. Queen Mab may indicate a real woman in the questioner's life. She's dreamy, artistic, feminine, and reflective. She's friendly, but in a lazy sort of way. You'll have to make all the effort in any relationship with her. So, however, that was the base of the deck, but that's really interesting because the last 3 decks have had cards that are linked to fertility. We have that keeps coming up, this mothering energy, this fertility energy. The first card I have for the crowning card is the 6 of Autumn, Trimor. The central card we have the Knave of Winter, Jack Frost. And then the base of the matter we have the Fairy Festival, Lugnasa. So for the crowning card for you, we have the 6 of Autumn, the Triamor. So the meaning here implies a choice. In this case, you're deciding with your heart rather than your head. However, you should consider carefully as all options have far-reaching consequences. If it's well aspected by other cards, it can point to harmony and true love. If badly aspected, it shows a relationship will be tested to the breaking point. So that is quite interesting here. We have Jack Frost and Lugnasa. So I'm not sure. Jack Frost is a bit cheeky. We'll get to him next. So there is some kind of significant choice, but they're telling you to choose your heart. Maybe even the Oakmen can help you with that too. And it is interesting that the underlying energies of the initial deck was that 2 of Swords, which was about, you know, important decision to be made this month, or just potential indecisiveness as well. So your central card is the Knave of Winter, which is Jack Frost. And he represents sudden, unexpected changes, minor setbacks, temporary chaos, minor illnesses, accidents, and mishaps. He may even represent a person in your life, a young man with very strong opinions. But his views shift from day to day. He's clever but inconsistent, charming but easily bored, is good company, but don't rely on him for anything important. So it could be someone in your life, but I do find that interesting. So also linked in here with the Journeyman. Then for the base of the matter, you have the Fairy Festival, Lugnasa, which is actually a link to that you will start to reap the rewards of your efforts, though more work is needed to bring a project to final completion. It can indicate the closing of one door will lead to the opening of another. So that's interesting too, because we did have some of that energies as well, like about new starts a lot. And then also about, like with the 3 of Pentacles, about working on projects as well. So the last cards I have for you are the Fairy Tale Lenormand. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Key. And then your first card is the Whip. Central card, the Book. And the base of the matter is the Tower. So the energies of the key are about openness, revelation, unlocking, achievement, liberation, and resolution. With the whip, the energies are opening yourself up to criticism, but also potentially leaving yourself open to abuse. So be aware of that. And that is linked here with that triangle. So that's all about the heart, making the decision with your heart. Which I think really is that kind of key. It's key, isn't it? That to make the decision with your heart is more about what is good for your heart. So if you make it with your mind, you might think, oh, this is suitable because of maybe there's some abundance on some level that you might like to have in your life. But if the heart is missing, that heart connection is missing, there could be like a cruel energy that can come in, because some energies like the intellect without the heart to balance it can be quite cruel. So yeah, I'm getting that feeling there. The key with the tower represents freedom, but it's freedom from loneliness, which is interesting. So definitely there is that energy then with the partnership, or there's something that you're working on that's, you know, means you will be not lonely. And then the key with the book symbolizes finding out the truth, which is so interesting. And also education opens up doors. So there may be some further education that you are doing at this time. The book can definitely imply that. And also the fact that it did say that finding out the truth, because we did have the Ace of Winter, which is like that Ace of Swords card, and that can very much be linked to the truth. And the Jack of Frost, I think the Winter suit is linked to this, to the swords as well. So he would be like your Page of Swords, the Jack Frost as well. So the book with the whip is more about knowledge as a weapon, using your knowledge as a weapon, knowledge of abuse, painful, and keeping a secret. So there's some kind of secret here about abuse and pain, like some kind of painful situation. If that is going on, please get the help that you need, or you know, please try and resolve it in some way, because if it's someone that you know that's going through this situation, you know, if and you can help them, please do, because yeah, that does not sound good. So obviously there could be something that you're learning about that's quite painful this month, which we did have a bit of that energy with, like, say, the Three of Winter here, the Three of Wands. And then the book with the Tower speaks of educational authority, university, so potentially you could be going to university, and intellectual snobbery. So that's interesting as well. But this was also linked to the Lugnasa card, which was about completing things, wasn't it? So maybe there is something, you're completing some kind of study. But then the mothering energy, we had that really nourishing mothering energy as well. So these are the cards that I have for you for the month of July, True Sky Taurus. At the end of the reading, I just like to do a little bit of a astrological musing about the energies. So currently we do have Uranus in your sign, Taurus, and we did have, I think it was with the Jack Frost card, it was talking about like changes, and sometimes they might even be painful changes, like really abrupt changes, and that made me think of that Uranus and Taurus. So that's interesting. It did come up because we didn't have in the tarot, we didn't have the Tower card. However, in the Lenormand, we have the Tower card as the base of the matter, which to me, the Tower card is linked with that Uranian-Uranus energy. And then we do also have currently Mars in your sign Taurus, which is actually a really good placement for Mars to be. So Mars really likes to be in Taurus because obviously Taurus is very strong, like physically it's a very strong sign and very earthy, and it grounds that Mars energy, but it also retains its strength and also that persistent energy, that kind of, you know, that plodding, because Taurus is a fixed sign, so they don't give up in a hurry. It does further strengthen that energy, so it's actually a really good combination there. But then having it with that Uranus would have been quite interesting, probably for you earlier in the month when that exacted. Let me know if anything significant happened for you around that 4th of July. So yeah, so we do have at the moment potentially the nodes could be challenging your Taurus sign or sign, depending what you have in Taurus. It doesn't have to be the sun that you're here for. It could be your rising or your moon or some other significant placement. But yeah, the North Node is in Aquarius at the moment, which could be challenging your Taurus placement or placements. And also the South Node is in Leo at the moment with Venus conjoined. So that's an interesting combination that is happening. It can bring maybe even lovers from the past or some kind of Venusian energy from the past. That definitely has that Leo flavor there as well into your life at this time. So that could be a little bit challenging. Maybe it's not, but I mean, picking up on that energy there with the whip and it talking about potential like pain and things, it did kind of make me think that it could be. And then the Trimer was talking about, you know, making decisions based on your heart, and Venus is all about the heart. So you did also have the Two of Cups there with the Empress as well. And the Empress is like Venus, and yeah, the Two of Cups is like a love situation. Potentially could be friendship, could even be a working relationship, just very nourishing kind of relationship. Then we have, so currently the sun is in True Sky Gemini. It will move into Cancer, True Sky Cancer, around the 17th of this month, and you might even find that it's a bit better for you because Cancer does sextile Taurus, so it's a little bit more gentle energy. Then we have the new moon in True Sky Gemini on the 14th, which is not far away now, and that's also a Cazimi with Mercury, and Mercury is currently retrograde, and that's all in Gemini, so there's a lot of Gemini energy at the moment. Often Tauruses can have a bit of Gemini in their chart because you're like neighboring signs. Obviously you don't have to, but you may have some Gemini that is being, you know, triggered in your chart right now with all that Gemini energy, which I kind of was picking up on too, because there was quite a few cards talking about like new beginnings, new things coming in, and even like with the whole pregnancy and birth thing, like that's like kind of new life energies coming in. Doesn't have to be a baby. And so because we've got that new moon so close, it did kind of, I was wondering if there was a link there too. Then, so the Mercury retrograde will finish this month on around the 23rd of July. And then we've currently also got Neptune retrograde, which came in on the 7th, and that goes all the way to the 12th of December. And we have the Pluto retrograde currently too, and that continues until October the 16th. So the full moon this month, which is in True Sky Cancer, is on the, sorry, not the moon, the sun will be in True Sky Cancer. The moon will be in True Sky Capricorn. The full moon will be on the 30th of July, and that will be an interesting one as well, because we do have that sun in Cancer conjoined the Jupiter in Cancer, and then we have that moon in Capricorn conjoined the Pluto in Capricorn. So potentially that could be quite good for you. So having both of those signs, like the moon especially with the Pluto, could be trining your Taurus placement or placements, and then that sun and Jupiter could be sextiling your Taurus placement or placements. I do see some of that energy here. We have the Wheel of Fortune, which is linked to Jupiter. So potentially that could be. And also with that Uranus transit through Taurus, you also have the Star card here. So the Star card is linked to Aquarius, but Aquarius's ruler is Uranus. So there is that energy also being pulled in here as well. So that is the general kind of sky for the month for you. I hope you have a fantastic month ahead, Taurus. Let me know in the comments if this resonates or if any of these things happen for you. Yeah, I'd love hearing from all of you. If you could like, subscribe or share the reading, that would be fantastic. If you haven't already, thank you to everyone that has subscribed. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'm really enjoying seeing this channel grow. The True Skies isn't your kind of mainstream knowledge yet. There are quite a lot of people, I think, that are interested, but you know, a lot of people are very used to what they know, and I think it kind of challenges a lot of people's perceptions and other things. So anyway, yeah, so I'd like to continue with it. And also we do have Neptune in True Sky Pisces and Saturn in True Sky Pisces, which could be sextiling your Taurian placements as well. So there is that. Was also another kind of energy that's there that's quite gentle, being a sextile. So yeah, so anyway, have a great month ahead and take care. Okay.